Hi Poem, I have both of your quizzes here, so I just wanted to make a quick video going over the questions that you missed. So in your first attempt, you got a 50%, you missed 5 out of the 10 questions. This first one asks for which expression has twice the value of what appears to be 2 to the 5th power. There are 5 2's there. Twice that means we would just multiply it by another 2, so that would be 2 to the 6th power. This asks which expression is equivalent. So we're multiplying j's together. That means j is the base. And then when you count the number of j's, the number of times we're multiplying j times itself, we get 13. So the answer is j to the 13. It looks like you had your base and your exponent mixed up. Question 5, Jerry believed the answer to one of her homework problems was 2 to the 3rd power. After checking her work, she realized the correct answer was 2 to the 9th power. How do these two answers compare? So 2 to the 3rd power is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 to the 9th power is 9 2's multiplied together. So the question is, how do they compare? And the answers here are looking at how many times bigger is 2 to the 9th than 2 to the 3rd. Well, they both have 2 to the 3rd power in them. Then what this has is 6 more 2's being multiplied together, or 2 to the 6th power. 2 to the 6th power is 64, so it's 64 times greater. Question 7 shows Haley's work and asks which statement best describes her error. So we have negative 2 being raised to the 8th power. That means we're multiplying 8 negative 2's together. There are 8, so there's not an error there. So the error is in the answer. 2 to the 8th power is 256. But when we have an even power and we're multiplying a negative number, we should get a positive answer, because the negative times a negative here would give you a positive, and you're kind of pairing these negatives together and you get all positives. So the answer should be a positive 256. So this final answer, she made a sign error when multiplying. She should have gotten a positive answer. Question 9 asks which of the following are equivalent? I mean, you certainly can check in a calculator 7 to the 8th power, 8 to the 7th power. That's not going to be true. 1 to any power is just 1. So 1 to the 13th, that's 1 times itself 13 times, that's just 1. 1 to the 15th power is 1 times itself 15 times, and that's also just 1. So that was your first attempt. Here's your second attempt. The first question asks, which expressions have a value of negative 1 over 64? So we have to be kind of careful here. There's a really big difference in, let's see if they have the same, in both of these. So here's a really good comparison. In the first one here, the fifth choice, we have negative 1/2 being raised to the 6th power. There's a negative number being raised to an even power, and we're going to get a positive answer. You would actually get positive 1 over 64. But in this last answer choice, we're raising 1/2 to the 6th power, so that does give us 1/64th, but then there's just one negative out in front, so that's going to give us a negative answer. So that one's correct. That's the one that you missed from the answer choices. It works very similarly to this one, where we square 1/8 and get 1/64th, but then we need to take the opposite of that, and so then you have to put the negative symbol out in front. This only affects powers when they're even numbers. You'll notice that odd number powers, these are both right answers. Doesn't matter if the negative is inside the parentheses or outside, you'll always end up with a negative answer. Question 3 we went over in the last quiz. Here's another example, kind of like what we were just talking about, where this -5 is not in a set of parentheses. It's different than saying this. This says take -5 and raise it to the 6th power. or -5 times itself 6 times. What this says is take the opposite of 5 to the 6th. So first you have to figure out what 5 to the 6th is, and it's 15,625. But then you need to take that negative and it goes back in front of the number because we're taking the opposite of it, which means we're going to make it negative. Again, this one here with parentheses that I drew at the beginning, this would give you positive 15,625. So notice the difference in parentheses or no parentheses, or if that negative is inside and being raised to the power. So again, it looks like you're maybe getting your power and your base mixed up. 5 here is acting as the base, and we're raising it to the 4th power. So we're multiplying 5 4 times, and then we have this 2 out in front. I'm going to go ahead and add another quiz attempt, and so reach out if you have questions after that.